Hello and welcome back to Empire Build Academy. This is Fabian and this is the Beginner's Guide Part 1 to Lords Mobile. Let's do this. So welcome back to the channel. Like I say, this is Fabian. This is the Empire Build Academy and I'm doing lots of different games, and today will be the first one in the series for Lords Mobile. If you're not aware of the process that I'm following for each game, I'm following the 9-step process so that you can dominate the battle, and that is quite simply 2 times beginner's guide, a construction guide, research, troops, heroes, defense, attack, events guide, and a frequently asked questions. And once we've reached the end of those 9 steps, you should be armed with some decent information to be able to go into Lords Mobile and play that game confidently with knowing your stuff. I also have a website which is empirebuildacademy.com, and if you go across to that and we use Lords Mobile as an example, what I will be doing is putting all those 9 steps in here under the relevant box. So the research guide will be in the research guide, pretty obvious, and so on and so forth all the way down. Obviously, I'll be doing other things as well. So for argument's sake, events, that's going to need more videos because it would be impossible to do that all in one video. But like I say, what I will do is try and make it as simplistic, and I try to keep each video down to less than 30 minutes so that it's not too much to take in all in one go. So this is the Beginner's Guide Part 1, as I said. Let's jump over to the Lords Mobile game. I haven't personally played this for a very long time, so this is what I'm assuming is the beginning scene, because I can see everything is all greyed out in terms of unlocking the areas. It looks like we have to face some little mini challenges before we can continue, so I will do that on this one here, and it looks like that I need to continue through all the different stages like so. It's pretty straightforward, I think. He says. That one was victory, so you can see if I'd have gone to the -1, that would have been a problem, but it wasn't. So that is now done. Quest is complete, and we've got some rewards there as well. And then we've got a little cutscene, which I'm going to go over. I try to cut all the cutscenes because if you want to watch them, of course, it'd make more sense for you to do that on the game itself rather than watching it in a tutorial. So we've now got another battle, and it looks like it's the same kind of mini game again. We've got 2 people. We go over to this one here. That will then give us 6 people, and those 6 would be able to defeat the 5, is the theory that I'm going. And then that 11 would then go over to defeat the 6, which would then become 17. And that 17 would then be able to take out what I'm assuming is the final boss. Like I say, this is all very new to me. I've not seen this style of it before. So from a minigame perspective, this is different. I don't mind it, actually. Some of them can be quite boring. Obviously not going to be something I'm going to be playing long term on the game. That's not what Lords Mobile is all about. And if you're here thinking that these little minigames are what it's all about, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you, because it definitely isn't. So what are we doing here? It looks like we're doing some kind of construction for the first time. That is the quest complete. And you can see also as well, it's given us the arrow to point on those sword icons, which again will start another battle, but this time it's different. And it's saying tap on the ground to guide the team forward. So you've got 2 options, it looks like. You can take, so I will select this one over here. And then we go into battle, it seems. I'm not sure if I had actually done that correctly, so there might be some people in the comments saying that wasn't what you were supposed to do. So now, again, let's just move forward. Can I see who... Oh, it automatically picked it up for me. I was going to see if there was some kind of theory behind which troop type I was supposed to select, or maybe it's one of those that you just win regardless of which one you would actually take. And then we go into, again, what looks like the final boss battle. The one thing I will say about Lords Mobile, and this is only a personal opinion, it's a personal preference, from a graphical point of view, it's not my kind of thing. I think I prefer the ones that are a little bit more, shall we say, realistic. I find this one a little bit cartoony in the way that it is. And if that's something you enjoy, there's nothing wrong with that at all. At the end of the day, it is only based on an opinion. But I prefer things like Age of Empires Mobile, King of Avalon, that kind of style. I know there are a few of these, and they've done very successful as well. So, of course, there are plenty of people that like this kind of style. Okay, so we're going into another battle, which I will let that do. Again, it looks like it's opening some areas for us. Please select an upgrade. So this deals an AoE damage, whatever that possibly could be. And then we can go into another battle. It looks like we're a little bit overpowered on this one. Maybe we're not. I'm not sure. That would be my first impression, but maybe this special skill is going to do something for us. And this time we can use a shockwave. And we can go into the final battle, I would assume. Although, again, I've got a feeling that this is going to be successful. At first, I thought that there was going to be no way we was going to win that. But, of course, with the special skills there, we absolutely won very easily indeed. So, again, that's another quest complete. And I would imagine at some point we will be entering into the chapter mode style of the game, where we start building things. I would imagine this big dragon thing at the end is what we've got to do to win this. So it's telling me to select the shield, so that is exactly what I will do. And it looks like we've got 3 battles from what it's showing up there at the top with the 2 swords. So this would be 2 battles left to go. We can deal some more damage, which is definitely going to help as we go into battle. And she is going to do her special move, which eliminates a lot of the people that we are fighting, or a lot of the monsters that we are fighting. And she's doing it a second time as well, which is definitely going to be very helpful. And then we've got 2 choices again at the end. We can choose the shield, we can choose the archer. It's telling me to choose the shield, so I'm going to do what it's asked. Please choose your desired effects. I will go for this one again. Not sure if it would have actually made a difference which one I'd have picked, whether it would have been a fail or a victory. So do let me know actually in the comments. Is that something that I couldn't fail on that first part? Is that something where I would have always been successful? Probably. I'm waiting for the big dragon. I don't think we've even at the big dragon yet, are we? It's probably going to be another battle after this to get to that stage. We are complete on this one. That is victory. Let's come out of this. And you're too early. I haven't killed enough yet. This is definitely different to what it was before. I can't remember it, actually. It's been years since I've actually played this particular game. But we have unlocked a new hero. This definitely must be the way that they are doing their things now. And then we've got the big dragon-looking thing here. So I can imagine, although it's at the beginning and it's going to be easy, it would probably make more sense to get the ace. This is where those adverts take effect. And then you think, oh yes, brilliant, this is what the game's going to be like. And then you'll have some random person telling you it's going to be like exactly the way the game plays. And then in reality, we all know it's nothing at all like what it says. Troops or shield? We'll go troops. I don't know. I actually sounded like one of those people then. I really did. I really sounded like I was doing one. I don't work for Lords Mobile. I work for Empire Build Academy, which is my very own thing, my own brand. And I'm just doing lots of different guides. What we got? Okay, so we've got 3 different things there. Shockwave has got a 2-star on it. I think that would make more sense to go for that, surely. And we keep going forward. Or should I have saved it for the dragon? You see, I didn't think. 2 battles to go. Although maybe he will get that special skill back before we reach the dragon. This time, let's go for the venom shot. And you can see we are now going to what was got to be the big battle. This time I'm going to go for the ×2. And this is the final battle, I would imagine, before the game actually opens up and we start doing the good stuff in terms of building up our kingdom. Okay, and that was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be perfectly honest. So, am I now going to see the game actually start properly? I'm going to skip this cutscene, and is that going to be our main castle, do you think? Quite possibly. Let's skip that, and we might see some areas starting to open up now. This is another cutscene. This is all part of a story mode. You've reclaimed the city, so that minigame is now complete, and you can now see building development-wise, we have a construction limit for 4 resource buildings, and it would make perfect sense to build one of each using those 4 options that we've got. So let's do that. Don't forget to develop your turf as it expands. Use the recommended quest. This is actually a good point because the recommended quests is a great way on all these style games to follow things, because it sort of guides you where you need to go, especially from the beginning. It's a really good platform and a really good guide to use. So next thing we're building is a farm, and you can see that I can move that anywhere I like. So I'll try and keep them all together. I think that makes sense. And then we'll click on 3 on that. So that is the farm complete. And then we can go back to these guides. And then this time we can upgrade the castle wall to level 2. That is also done. You find at the beginning on these games, a lot of the things that you build is more of a guide rather than a struggle. And you will be able to build and level things up quite quickly. The next thing is upgrade the castle to level 3. It's definitely changed in its appearance, and I'm not sure whether I like that or not, to be perfectly honest. So I think I preferred it the old way, even though I'm not keen on the design. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Is this something you genuinely like? And if you actually played the old one, the older version and the newer version, what do you think of the differences between the two? Would you say that the second version or third version, it could be in a fourth version, is better, or did you prefer it the old style? And again, what do you prefer? Do you prefer this kind of graphics when you're playing these kind of games? So it looks like we've got to defeat another dragon. So defeat all enemies is what it said. And again, we've got that choice where we can choose 2 different things. And we will go with the horses or the cavalry. So you can see we've got 4 more battles to complete on this one. So again, I will choose the venom shot. I really don't know if it makes a difference, to be perfectly honest. So that's what I've gone with, and we will continue through. This time I will go this side because I chose cavalry last time. You can also see I would have got 60% health there that maybe I can collect. We've got a cavalry charge. Okay, so this time we've got 3 different type ones. We'll go with the cavalry charge because I feel I've got quite a few of them. And this time we did manage to select the health. And we will go into this. There's still 3 battles to go. This is one of those 3 battles. And that's another one that's complete. Let's go and collect that health as well. This time we'll choose the shockwave. We will go and get that 60% health. And this time we will go with Cavs, Archer, Shield. Like I knew what I was doing at that moment. And we'll go into this. We've got 2 left. One of them is with the dragon, so I'm imagining there's a bigger boss at the end of this. Again, if you've not played these games before, it's nothing to worry about at the beginning. They do make things very, very easy, including winning the majority of your battles. And if you actually have a look at the health of all of my troops, you can see actually they're all doing perfectly fine. And I really don't think it matters what we select. The beginning part of the game is just an introduction, almost like a mini tutorial, giving you an idea of the things you can do. This is the last battle on this one, and we're 16 minutes in, and I'm still not really building anything. So this is a long old tutorial compared to some of the games that I've already done on the channel. 16 minutes in, I'm normally upgrading castles, building resource spots, unlocking the research academy, and on this one I'm still battling a boss. So that's probably one slight criticism I've got there, is that maybe this is going on a little bit too long, especially if you was wanting to really draw in the player to playing this particular game. Okay, let's skip the cutscene. Let's click on the snowflake. Probably another person that we can bring into our army. Okay, so this is going to be one of those. I've seen this actually on Evany. They did it with Cleopatra, where you've almost got to go and try and find things to save her, and you have 24 hours to do so. So, warning, Stormfox in critical condition. This is definitely something else they've added. And it's another little mini game that we will be playing along the way. And I would imagine this is probably going to be unlocking some areas for us. Maybe. I think it was just sort of flying over just to show you that there's plenty of different things that can be unlocked. Upgrade castle to level 3. That is now done. We've got a few things we can collect. Reach player level 5 is the next thing. And that is where we go into our player. Sometimes it's called a monarch. It can be called many different things. But the idea is that we are up-leveling our monarch to a new level. And level 5 is the target. And level 5 has been achieved. You can come off this, collect that. And again, like I say, follow the guide with the hand icon that it's showing you. If you follow this at the beginning, you can even follow this as you're going through the whole game, to be perfectly honest. I was clicking the go button and it actually didn't work. So sometimes it doesn't always work the way it should. You can still select more heroes. And what I will do now, because I'm wary of time, is I'm going to cut through a few of these scenes and come back to you when we start building stuff in our area. So I'm just going to get through a few of these right now and come straight back. So jumping through a few of those chapters, we have come to our first purchase bonus, the Almighty Holy Sword. And the majority of these games, whether you're playing Evany, Age of Empires, Lords Mobile, as this one is, they always throw this little 50p, 99p option at you. That will be beneficial, it will be worth doing, and it will probably allow you to progress through the early parts of the game a lot quicker. So I will go ahead and purchase this. Okay, and that is now purchased, and we can now hire our new hero, and we can go into that now. So let's do that. Let's go into this. This is the hire that we can do. So this is the Holy Sword, the new hero, Rainer. And like I say, for 50p, it's worth doing, definitely. Okay, so let's come off that. You can see we've got some more stuff to collect. And I'm going to go and jump back into these chapters and continue going forward. So the first thing you can notice now is the territory has been expanded, and all this stuff under the cloud will continue to be unlocked as we progress. And the first thing that we've got to do is upgrade our barracks to level 2. So the next thing is upgrade the barracks to level 3, and it's still falling under the remit of being completed for free. That is now done. Now we've got to train Grunt times 20, which is our swordsman. And as you develop these in research, you will unlock better troops than this. So what I would say is to not go too crazy on the building of these troops. Just build what it's asking you to do and no further. We can speed that up if we wanted to. We've got an auto use, and you can see there we've got some different speed up times as well. Let me just see actually if it did confirm. Upgrade infirmary to level 2. So I didn't need to use the speed up to actually complete that part of the task. So let's upgrade the hospital. That is now done. Upgrade the watchtower. Construction queue is full, but it's not. It's because I didn't click free on the last one. So now it will be done. Upgrade watchtower to level 2. That is also done. And where are we going next? We're now building a lumber mill, which if we go into here, I'll just show you that again. So on the left hand side with the construction looking hammer with the eye icon is where we can go into that, and then we can build the lumber mill, quarry and mines. It's asking us to do the lumber mill. That is what I'll do. And again, with this, I can place this down incidentally, but I can also move this at a later date as well. And you can see just by clicking on it, if I wanted to move that, I can do that after as well. So if you want to get this into a certain way, and you probably will do that as you go through the game, keeping all your resource points together and keeping all things like hospital and research in a certain order that fits and works well for you. So I'm going to put that down. Now we've got to build a quarry. Just going to literally blast through this as quick as I can so that we can get to the good stuff in terms of building. Do that. Complete Kingdom Chapter 2 of 5. Again, I won't show this. I will just go and complete that off screen. Okay, jumping back into this very quickly, I noticed that we were trying to defeat this gold looking statue and it looked like it was something special. So just jump back in and it's asking us, are these the legendary hero stages? So let's complete that. Collect that as well. You can now take on hero stages with your team of heroes. So again, that will be some kind of mini game that you can play. And you can see there it was pointing to us at our stamina, which we have 37 left out of a possible 120. That will rebuild as you go along. But if we go into these hero stages, you can see that you can use your stamina up. And it's a good thing to do, especially if you need to use your stamina up quickly, because you get certain rewards for fighting in the different battles. And it says here the easiest way to get heroes is by clearing the hero stages. So this is chapter 1 of that, and this will be where we can start that path. And it's saying we can fight here. We can add our heroes, all 3 of them. And then, okay, we only had space for 2 to be able to add there, and then we can start that battle. And again, this will be a different mini fight for us to get through. And as this is the first instance of this, I will allow this to continue on the video. Incidentally, this is a little bit more familiar to what I've seen in the beginning ones. You can now see that as a boss appeared, and we've got these special skills. They highlight in yellow, and basically you can move them around, and you can see it's sort of showing what kind of damage it will do depending on where I send this. And that will do that. Same again with this one as well. And you can literally choose different ones to do this. We want to do this against the boss looking one, and that's why it's asking us to do that. And then that will of course destroy her. But this is how you will unlock the different heroes in the different battles you've got. So Oracle, you've grasped the basics, way to go, and we can continue forward. I see you found some trophies. I'll show you how to strengthen your heroes with it. And just to go back onto that, that was in the headguard armor. Now we're clicking on our Oathkeeper, and we can equip him with the ring that we just got. We can also upgrade the rank of the hero as well, which we will do. And it's going to take 5 minutes for this, but because it's only 5 minutes, we can do that nice and quickly. Okay. Own 1 of 2 rank heroes. We can do that as well with Holy Sword as well. So we can give her something as well. So you can swipe through the different heroes as well. So we can go across to this one, and then we can go back to the Oathkeeper, and you can see the different things that you can do. And if we go back to the third one, you can see that she can also have some additional equipment. And then we go back to the normal ones. We can come off this, and then we can continue with the Hero's Assault. Now you can do that obviously when you are in game. I'm not going to do it on the purpose of this video. We're already at 29 minutes and I feel like we've got nowhere. I do feel that this part of the game is a little bit long-winded, if I'm being honest. So we will complete that, complete Hero Stage 1 to 3. So guess what? We have to complete that part. So again, I am going to go into the battle and do this off screen. So on this particular battle, we've unlocked a new hero, Sage of Storms. Not bad. You remind me of my younger self. Very well, I've been here long enough. I'll tag along for the journey. And we now have 4 heroes, which also gave us some additional rewards as well. So coming back out of this, and you can see Anderson, Sage of Storms is now unlocked. And we can continue through the chapter. And you will get additional ones as well as you continue through these. So as you can see, there is a different hero in this one. And if I remember rightly, she was good for actually giving us health back to our injured heroes. So let's jump into that. Let's go into it. Let's go into fight. We can add our 4th hero. We can go into deploy. And we will skip through this one as well. So again, you can see the different yellow one that you can throw it at the different people. If you just click on it, it will just fire it at a random target. But like I say, if you hold it down and then actually swipe your way around the screen, you can actually choose a target that you want to attack instead of being random. That is now done. You can see sometimes as well, you can see that you're going to win this particular part easily. You don't even need to use the skills. Now you can see we've got 5 heroes because Prima Donna is now going to be on our journey as well. Her name is Felicia, and she is now a new hero. And we've got the last one, which is the boss. Let's go into this. Let's add her as well. And so this one will be another one that is nice and easy to do, as you can imagine, especially with 5 heroes now, all throwing the different things at them. You can see we are flying through these particular battles. Sometimes as well with the skills you can actually highlight more than one, so that is also useful to check out. And again, the battle was so easy, but one of the reasons being will be because we've actually purchased that 50p hero as well. Okay, let's come off that. That should be that part now complete. I can come off this, I hope. I want to get into the other stuff. As you can see, there's more being unlocked. I don't want to continue with these at this precise moment, but guess what? We've got to do the Icy Queen. Let me just see if I can actually come off this and do that later. So that one is complete. Have 3 heroes. You can see we're also ranking up as well. And guess what? Kingdom Chapter 2 of 7 needs to be complete, which it is. Own an embassy, upgrade a farm to level 2. We're now starting to get into the actual design and development of our kingdom. And upgrade lumber mill to level 2, which again, just click on that, click on upgrade. It's less than 5 minutes we can complete. And hopefully I can speed through a few of these actually before the end of the video and actually unlock a few things. What I will do in video 2 is get myself ahead of some of these things which I think are not necessary in terms of a beginner's guide, and just get myself a little bit ahead so that some of the different things are unlocked so that you can see that. Upgrade castle wall to level 3. Let's do that. Easy pressed on it about 50 times. And we can collect that. And the other thing as well is what I like to do on the second video, and I'm just going to show you quickly, is you can see all the different things. Now, if I was to actually open up that, and that was on the left-hand side with the snooze icon there, and it opens up and it's saying that we are not building anything, and it's saying we're not training anything as well. And you can also see what else is idle as well. And if you go down the bottom right, so all those different things down there, including messages and things like that, I will literally unlock as much of it as I possibly can and explain all those different tabs in video 2. Upgrade castle to level 4. Let's do that. This one might take... Oh, I was thinking it was going to take longer, but it actually hasn't. That one unlocks straight away, so that's okay. That is now done. Upgrade vault to level 2. And again, this is where you will just be at the beginning, just building things up in preparation for the battles that lie ahead. So the next one is complete Kingdom Chapter 2 of 8. And this is another one of those that we need to go into and defeat. And that one is already done. Trading posts, we've done that. Complete Kingdom Chapter 2 of 9. And this one we are going into battle. So we can add our new heroes. We now have 5 of them, which is going to make these challenges a lot easier indeed. Okay, so let's use... And I was telling you about actually Anthea's Anthem restores HP to all allies. That is a very useful one if your heroes are actually lacking in health. You can do that and she will actually boost the health of your heroes. So that's good to use. But we don't need to do that at the moment, so we will continue with this. And then again, I will speed through this one. Okay, so we've now unlocked my favourite building of all of these games, and that is the Academy, because this is where you do the biggest work. Let's go into this, let's go into Academy, let's put this down. And if you're not familiar with the Academy, this is where we can do research to earn lots of different buffs It's asking us to upgrade it to level 2. That is what I will do, and we will complete that nice and quickly. I think we've got a number 3 as well. Let's go. And yeah, once I jump into there, which I'm sure it will show me in a minute, you'll see exactly what I'm on about in regards buffs. And you can see this is the first thing we got, research level 1 training speed. So if we go inside the academy, we can do that. We can click on free, and this is what we call our research tree. So there are different things you can do. Let me just come back out of that. So you've got economy, defense, military, and monster hunt. And if you went into economy, for argument's sake, so if you click into construction speed, you can see that the next level will be 1%. If you click on information, you can see all the different percentages that you can do. So definitely one of the things I always say on these games is, yes, it's nice to do all the military and other things as well and boosting all those buffs, but economy is the golden nugget in reference to making things cheaper, making things faster, making things easier. And it is definitely my advice that you concentrate on economy and less forced to do any of the others that it says. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm going into construction speed and clicking on research, and I'm letting that happen. And I will do that again as well. And now you can see for the first time, I actually need speed up to complete that. And I will leave that running. Let's see what else it's asking me to do. Let's go do all the collections on here. And it's saying unlock Monster Hunt 1. And when I said to you about the research and going in and doing the different ones, let me just go back out of that. You can see now it's wanting me to do that Monster Hunt 1. So I have no choice but to finish that other one off quickly, which I will do. And for using these speed ups, you can see we've got an auto use button, and what it will do is it will use the recommended needed to complete this, and you do get research speed ups, normal speed ups, and it will take from the research ones first. So click on auto use for that. Click on, you don't need to show this message again, we understand what you're doing. Click on use, that is now free. And then if we go into that monster hunt, and this time we will complete number 1, you can see that is free, and we can now go back to that challenge, which is now complete. You can also see our hero is leveling up quite nicely as well, and you can go into there and increase these. So if you just click on all of these different ones, you can see you can use whichever of these avatars you want. So if you wanted to use the avatar of Prima Donna, you can do that, and that would be your avatar. Okay, build a level 1 workshop. This is again where we're building more troops. These are normally known as your siege. Okay, you can now see that the workshop is built to level 1. We can collect that. The next thing, and this is a very important thing actually, it's saying name yourself. And the reason I say that's important is if you are just left with your standard monarch name that you've got from whatever the game gives you, and it's normally Lord something with lots of different numbers, or King something with lots of different numbers, or whatever it may be. When it comes to joining an alliance, which will inevitably happen, people do like to see a name attached to that and not just a generic number. So I'm going to call myself Fabian at Tiba, which is what I've been regularly calling myself at these things. Did it not let me put the @ sign in? No, it didn't. So it'll be just Fabian Tiba that I will call myself. That is now done. That is now changed. Visit the kingdom map. This is where you will fight all your monsters. Left hand side, right down in the bottom corner. Again, with the snooze icon, click on that and it will take you to the kingdom map. And this is where you can fight different monsters, earning different rewards for doing so. Okay, so we can just click on the different things here. There's always eye icons as well, which you can click on to get a little bit more of an information based on what you're doing. Select the adventure quest here is what it's saying for this one, and then click on proceed, and then plant a seed in the crevice. It's asking us to do it. Let's do that. You can take on multiple adventure quests at once, increase your adventure level to get different types of quests. This is something Lords Mobile has added to this, and it's a feature that's becoming quite common now in these Empire mobile strategy games. And that's where it's like a bunch of mini quests within a large quest, which will up level the more you do the mini quests, if that makes sense. Okay, so that is that done. You can also see down at the bottom as well, we've got lots of things now going on in terms of orange flashing numbers and stuff. Like I say, I will talk about that in more detail in the next video. We're now at 43 minutes. I've definitely got to try and strip this back a bit. Like I say, the one thing that was an issue with this is just going on too long with that introduction. And what I will do now is, you can see that we've visited the kingdom map. Let's go and do that now. Complete adventure log, which you can see is that book icon on the right hand side, and we can click proceed on there, and we can go back into this, and that is now happening. And if you go into that adventure log, you can see you've got lots of different things that you can also do, and as it mentioned, you can do these at exactly the same time as well, and you'll get decent little rewards for doing that. So making sure that you are doing these regularly is important. Okay, let's go with that. Proceed. What sound did you hear from the magic conch? I don't know, because I weren't listening. That's not the right sound. Try again. Yes, I got it. What a guess. That was now complete. And again, I can go back into this. And each time you've done one of these battles or these mini games, you can collect the rewards based on that. Give orders to our spy in the dark army. Click on that. Give orders. That is now being done. And then we've got the last one, which is search for treasure hidden by the dark army. It may give off a glow, so you go and explore that, and then that will be them two things done. And I can collect that, and then we will wait and collect the last one, because I believe it will level up, and you will see what I mean in terms of that leveling up. And it said no treasure found, search elsewhere. So that means we need to go back into there, and we need to have another look. And you can see there was two different ones, so this time we can explore the second one. Got to wait for our scout to come back to our castle first before being able to do that. 5 seconds to go, and then we'll be able to send that. You can also see, actually, there's a couple of glowing icons, so it could be one of those that you have to do a couple of times before you find the right one. And this time it said that the adventure quest is complete, so the second one was good. Click on collect here, and it says we can now click the main one, which will give us some additional rewards. But not only additional rewards, it's also opened up some new adventure logs as well. And as I said, you've got the eye icon there as well, which you will find scattered around all the different things. And for this one, it gives a big breakdown as to what the adventure log is and what you need to do. Okay, I'm actually going to leave it there on this video. I would have liked to have talked a little bit more about what was being unlocked, but I will unlock a few of these things, including some of this stuff that's under the grey clouds, and I will be back in video 2 with a lot more buildings unlocked and a lot more stuff to talk about, and I look forward to seeing you in that video. And of course the construction video will come very soon after that, where I will talk about all the buildings in more detail. Please do let me know what you thought of this video. If there's anything I've missed, please drop that in the comments, and I will speak to you in another video very soon. Thanks for watching.